Some breaking news this hour, and 5 police officers from 4 police forces, including the Metropolitan Police, are facing disciplinary action over messages shared on social media about Sarah Everard's killer, Wayne Couzens. Well, one of the investigations by the Independent Office for Police Conduct followed a referral from the Metropolitan Police in March. It looked into allegations that a probationary constable used WhatsApp to share with colleagues an inappropriate graphic depicting violence against women. The investigation, completed in August, indicated that the image was intended to be in reference to the kidnap and murder of Sarah Everard. Well, that same officer went on to staff a cordon as part of the search for Sarah, according to the investigation. Meanwhile, another officer will face a misconduct hearing after allegedly sharing the graphic and failing to challenge it. Well, let's get some reaction to this with Shabnam Chowdhury, who is the former Detective Superintendent for the Metropolitan Police. Thanks for your time this afternoon. First of all, very serious allegations. What's your reaction?
Well, to be honest with you, when I read the content of the misconduct findings, I actually felt sick to the stomach. And the reason I felt so sick was because it just shows an utter disregard by officers who feel that they can go and behave in a certain way at the most serious of crimes. What does that tell you about when they are going out to deal with victims on simple, low-level crimes and how they treat those victims? It really did sicken me. I feel so upset by it because you join policing to protect the public and to give victims a quality of service. I'm so gutted for the parents of Sarah Everard.
And as you say, I mean, this further undermines, doesn't it, confidence in policing, which has already been hugely rocked by the Sarah Everard case?
Well, I think policing across the UK at the moment is probably rock bottom in terms of trust and confidence, and this has not helped it at all. And I don't think that, you know, the recommendations in terms of local misconduct meetings, because that's what they are, local misconduct meetings, and there is one gross misconduct that will take place out of that, that doesn't really help the leadership at the top.
And of course, it's not just the Met, is it? I mean, we know the Met has come in for a huge amount of criticism of late, but there are a number of different forces caught up in this.
Well, this is prevalent across the entire UK within policing, that officers feel that it's acceptable to behave in a certain way when it comes to victims. The bottom line is, when you become a police officer, you police the UK 24 hours a day, and that means you have to act with integrity and professionalism at all times.
What does it say about the culture of policing when this sort of thing can go on and appear to be a regular occurrence?
Well, I think that even with racism and with sexism and clearly with misogyny, it's far more prevalent than what perhaps people are thinking it is. I think that it's not just a question of female officers coming forward. I think it's the fact that male officers are being exposed for their behaviours, which they think is just actually the norm, and perhaps that it's being treated as the norm within policing because it's classed as, you know, banter, which it really isn't.
And part of the problem here, it would seem, is that it's not just instigating whatever it might be on social media, but it's failing to report that bad behaviour when you see it.
Well, there's a fear to challenge that behaviour, and I don't really understand that. I mean, saying that, you know, a probationer behaved in a certain way, when you join the police service, you are given the relevant training, and you should know, as a common sense approach, that you are respectful to everybody. So, you know, the failure to challenge such behaviour because you think that you may get targeted. I've been targeted all my service. I actually honestly didn't give a damn, because what meant more to me was standing up to be counted and making sure that that kind of behaviour is eradicated.
Is the UK police, police forces around the UK institutionally misogynistic, do you think?
Well, I think that the review, for the Met Police review, undertaken by I've forgotten her name, Casey, my apologies. But I do think, yes, that there's some form of misogyny that is becoming far more prevalent than perhaps what even policing has probably recognised. And I think that needs to be dealt with very, very quickly.
Well, let's talk about that then. I mean, going forward, what needs to be done? Because there needs to be a huge cultural shift, doesn't there?
Well, I think some forces have already recognised across the UK that there are some serious changes that need to be made. I know that Martin Hewitt from the National Police Chief Council and working with the NPCC has already indicated that there needs to be some serious changes. The Metropolitan Police have instigated their own review with, as I just mentioned. But the fact is that I think in some forces, and I think in the Metropolitan Police, I've been very clear, as much as I have huge respect for the Commissioner, I think that it's time for some new leadership and some new direction.
So you think Cressida Dick needs to go?
I think it needs new direction, and I think that probably answers your question that you're asking, yes.
Yeah, OK. All right. We appreciate your time at short notice as well. Former Detective Superintendent for the Met, Shabnam Chowdhury, thank you.